Charlie from cookingsecretsformen.com, and today we're talking ice cream. I lived in Cincinnati for about 16 years before I moved here to Milwaukee. During that time, I learned a lot about Cincinnati. Cincinnati-style chili, which I've made several times on my channel. Goetta, which is scrapple with steel-cut oats instead of cornmeal. And Zip burgers from Zip's Café in Mount Lookout. But the main food that I came to know and love was Graeter's ice cream. You spell Graeter's G-R-A-E-T-E-R-S, I'll have the link below. It's named after the family that started the company. So in 1870, on the streets of Cincinnati, Louis Graeter began selling ice cream. He successfully sold it out of 2 carts after handcrafting it in French pots. To this day, Graeter's is handcrafted out of French pots at a factory in Cincinnati. To those of us with ties to Cincinnati and the surrounding areas, we've always claimed that Graeter's is the best ice cream in the world. And most of us felt that it wasn't close. There was ice cream, then there was Graeter's. On the best ice cream lists that you see, brands like Baskins Robbins, Haagen Dazs, Blue Bunny, Bluebell, Ben & Jerry's, Talenti Gelato, Jeni's, among others. We just made the claim that Graeter's was the best without a real reason. It just tasted better than regular ice cream as far as most of us were concerned. But recently I listened to a podcast, again I'll have the link below for this, featuring the ice cream company's CEO Richard Graeter and the history of his family's business on the NPR show Wisdom from the Top. I think it was shot during, or it was broadcast during the pandemic. Graeter's ice cream is so thick that it has to be packed in containers, pint containers, by hand because the ice cream is too thick to go through modern filling equipment. 5 million pints of ice cream are packed by hand every year in the Cincinnati factory. It is the densest ice cream on the market, and it's not close. Ice cream is sold by volume. So this is 1 pint, but it is not sold by weight. So a pint of Graeter's looks the same as a pint of Haagen Dazs or Ben & Jerry's or whomever. But it weighs more than Haagen Dazs or the others or any other commercial ice cream because it's denser. And the reason it's denser is because according to law, most commercially made ice creams can be up to 50% air. Now think about that. You can have an ice cream that's up to 50% air. It can be no more than 50% or it can't be called ice cream. The air gets into regular ice cream the same way that air gets into whipped cream cheese. High-speed whipping during the manufacturing process. Ice cream is whipped into a foam, then squirted out into containers, and then they put a top on and then put it in a deep freeze. This is what regular other companies do. So if you're shopping in a grocery store and you see a product that's marked frozen dessert, it's not really ice cream. So Graeter's does not have that issue with a very light and airy ice cream. They do everything by hand in the French pots, and it comes out much denser. Therefore, that's why they have to pack it by hand. And we haven't even talked about the chocolate chunks. I'm not saying chocolate chips, I'm saying chocolate chunks. So I'll give you an example. So this is Graeter's mint chocolate chip, okay? And they used to put green food coloring in, but now it's white. They don't put the food coloring in. But we'll see if we can dig out some of these chocolate chips, chocolate chunks. These are more than just chips. So let's see if we can see that one. They're just hunks of chocolate. There are some chips, but it's mostly chunks. So if I clean these off a little bit, so let me find it. This is a relatively medium-sized chocolate chunk that you'll find in all the Graeter's chocolate chip ice creams. And this is just normal. Here's another one. You can see, I mean, this is as big as my thumbnail. So half of the Graeter's flavors that people love have the chocolate chips in it. It's hard to call it chocolate chips because they're not little pieces. They're hunks. The way they do it is they pour dark chocolate into one of the French pots and let it freeze, and then they break it up with a paddle, and then those chunks freeze into the ice cream, and that's another reason they can't push it through a modern filling equipment, because it's too dense. There are so many flavors. I'm not going to mention them all. You can see them on their website. You can order Graeters anywhere in the United States. And if you're near a Kroger store, a Kroger-related store, Graeters is probably sold there. Kroger and Graeters are two large employers in Cincinnati. They have a marketing agreement where the Graeters ice cream goes into Kroger stores. My son in Santa Fe, New Mexico, can get Graeters there, even though it's shipped out of Cincinnati. And it's pretty much across the country. So if you have a Kroger or Kroger-related store near you, do yourself a favor and go get one of the chocolate chips. They also have seasonal, peach in the summer. They have peppermint stick around Christmas time. They've got pumpkin around Thanksgiving. They have cherry chip around President's Day. It's nonstop. It is the best ice cream in the world, and the reason it's the best ice cream is because it's denser, it's sweeter, it has the biggest chocolate chips you've ever seen in your life. So, I might have to take a little taste. Especially love the little chocolate chips. It's just so good. This is my favorite. Double chocolate chip, because it's chocolate with chocolate chips, chocolate chunks inside. I hope you will do a taste test with your favorite ice cream and Graeters at some point, and you can come back and say, "Hey Charlie, you were right. Graeters is the best ice cream you can get." So thanks so much for watching. Appreciate everyone's support. Please like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. And Graeters, thank you.